What happened, Mr. Min? Why are you looking tensed? Is everything okay? My son is not there. He ran away from waiting, Mr. Park. I'm sorry to say this. Then your father held his collar tightly in anger and shouted loudly. What are you saying, Mr. Min? While listening to your dad's sudden shout, everyone started to look at him and you came out in panic with your mom and your friend Meena. I am sorry, Mr. Park. I think he loves someone else. Then he should have said this before agreeing to marry my daughter. What happened, honey? Why are you shouting? Everything is over. My daughter's life is totally ruined. The groom ran away from wedding. Now, who will marry my daughter? What? Mr. Min, you said your son said okay to this marriage, right? Then what is this? I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I don't know that idiot love another girl. The happiness on your face and your mom and dad face faded away in 10 minutes and you all started to cry. It's all because of me. If my last wish was not see you married, like this day could have not been come. I'm sorry, Van. I'm sorry for everything. Mom, don't say like that. You didn't do anything wrong, Mom. It's my fate. What I will do now? Our reputation, our respect, and our daughter career, everything is over. And who will marry my daughter now? Your mom and dad is crying hard and you are looking at them silently as you don't understand why God did like this. Why he don't want you to be happy. First your mom health and now this wedding. Everything is breaking you from inside of your heart. Then suddenly your father boss, Mr. Lee came forward and said, Don't cry, Mr. Park. Who said everything is over? I know in what situation you are in. I want to help you. I will make your daughter as my daughter-in-law. My stepson Jung Jungkook will marry her. He said and everyone became shocked and you saw a little hope in your dad and mom eyes. But you don't know who this man actually is. Then suddenly a cold voice came from your back and it sounded like shouting and you looked back to see who is it. Who said I will marry her? I am here to see wedding and not to get married here. He said in cold stern voice and by listening his voice only you felt goosebumps in your body. I didn't ask you permission, Jungkook. You are marrying her and that's it. It's final. But honey, Jungkook said he don't want to marry any girl. Then why? She said slowly and then Mr. Lee turned towards her and said, I said it's final. He said while raising his voice and Jungkook clenched his jaw in anger. Everyone, please take your seats. Wedding is going to start in 20 minutes. He said while smiling and everyone became shocked. And you are staring at the man who is sitting in a wheelchair silently. And he is also staring at you but in anger. Van, please marry him for your mom's sake and for our reputation's sake. Please marry him, daughter. Uncle, how can you ask something like this to Van? He is disabled and he's paralyzed, uncle. How can you ask Van to marry him? She won't stay happy with that person, uncle? She said while looking at Jungkook in disgust face. And your dad is pleading you to marry him. And then your dad again said, don't think like that, Waan. I know your future is going to be happy with young master. Please trust your dad and say yes to this marriage, daughter. Then you looked at your dad and then to Jungkook and saw that he was looking at you only, and his eyes are looking like waiting for something, waiting for your reply. Then your mom came towards you and said, Van, once I forced you, but not now. It's your choice if you want to marry him or not. If you don't marry him, it's okay. We will not force you, dear. Then you looked at everyone and saw that guests are whispering and some faces are like they are enjoying the scene in front of them. And only some people are looking at you beautifully. And some are having unknown happiness on their faces. And all those are your relatives, your close friends, and your father colleagues. And then you looked at your dad. God, what should I do now? First, for my mom, I said yes to this marriage, and that groom ran away. And now, for my father's reputation, I should marry him. My mom and did many things for me. And now it's my turn to do something for them and make them happy. And it's okay for me to marry a disabled man also. Maybe this is only written in my destiny and I should gladly accept this. Then you took a deep breath and said, okay, I will marry him. You said while looking at Jungkook, and his eyes are widened when he listened okay from your mouth. What? She want to marry me? A person who is paralyzed? And she is very beautiful. Why she want to marry a person like me? Never a girl wants to marry a person who is sitting in wheelchair. And I think she want to marry me for her father's reputation and for my money. Maybe she is also like gold digger like other girls who used to stay beside me before. Okay, now everything is set. This wedding is going to happen at any cost. When Mr. Lee announced this, everyone sat on their seats and priest stood in the middle of the stage. Jungkook, do you take Park Wa-an as your lawful wife and spend the rest of your life together in sadness and happiness? You both were standing opposite to each other and his face has no expression. He is looking very coldly at you. And the priest said this and he looked at Mrs. Lee for some time blankly, and you thought that he could say no. But again he turned towards you and said, I do. Miss Park Wa-an, do you take Jungkook as your lawful wedded husband and want to spend the rest of your life together in sadness and happiness? When the priest said this, you looked down and stared at your legs for some time, and your heart ached, and you looked at your mom and dad, and they are looking very happy. And then you took a deep breath and said, I do. You may kiss the bride. When the priest said this, you clenched your dress, not in anger or regret for marrying him, but you are wondering how he will kiss you. because he sat in a wheelchair and there is no chance for him to stood up. But your body tightened when he suddenly took your hand and kissed on the back of it, and you looked at him silently, and he is also looking straight into your eyes. Then everyone congratulated you both. Your mom and dad was very happy. Then Mrs. Lee came to you both and said, "Congratulations, my son and daughter. I'm so happy for you," she said, and you looked at her confusingly. Why she is addressing him as her son? His first name is Jong and her is Lee. Then she laughed a little as she understood the reason behind your confused face. "Daughter, don't get confused. Jungkook is my real son. I'm her real mom. After Jungkook's dad's death, I married to Mr. Lee. My name changed, but I'm still Jungkook's mom. And you can also call me mom," she said while smiling. "Okay, mom." Everyone congratulated you both, and you have a smile on your face. But Jungkook's face is still cold, and he totally became silent. And you started to feel uneasy for your future, but a smile on your face didn't left away. After the ceremony completed, you and Jungkook started to go to his house, and the car ride was silent. The driver focused on the road while you are watching the outside view, and Jungkook is silent. After reaching home, you got out of the car and the driver helped Jungkook to sit on the wheelchair. Then a old man came inside of the house and welcomed you both. "Welcome back, Jungkook and Mrs. Jung. I'm happy for you. Congratulations," he said, and you gave him a smile. Then he started to take Jungkook inside of the house and you followed them back. "Grandpa, show her the guest room." "Okay, young master." You looked at him in confusion and said, "Why another room? We are married, right?" You said while looking down. You said this as you don't have any problem marrying him and you want to give a chance to this marriage. "I don't like sharing my room with anyone," he said without looking at you, and while pulling his wheelchair, he went inside his bedroom. "Mrs. Jung, don't take Jungkook wrong. He's a nice person, but he takes some time to mingle with anyone," he said with a smile on his face. "It's okay, Grandpa. I will wait for him to free up with me. And you can call me by my name, like Jungkook," you said while smiling, and he showed you a room and went inside.